Hi, Welsh Dragon Metals here, tearing apart some costume jewellery today for some useful components. So, I've already begun the process. Here you can see some pieces of costume jewellery. This is mainly tin, some zinc alloy maybe, but I have sunk some clippers into it and I believe it is tin and it's non-magnetic, so it's highly likely cheap tin costume jewellery, but there are lots of glass gemstones set within little holders, and the holders are quite useful. And there are also some clasps and reworkable parts, such as these tiny sort of brooch things full of little gemstones, little glass ones, reflect quite well. Have a little look there, see there's the gemstone holding cup. That could be quite useful, so that's a useful component for extracting from this cheap costume jewellery stuff. This is the type you get in cheap shops and stuff, you know, M&S, things like that. Oh, we got some there, which can probably be reworked to some sort of piece of jewellery. Quite nice. We have lots of metal here. It's either anodized, painted, plated material, although it's unlikely to be plated, as that will increase the cost, so it's probably just anodized gold colour. There's these little gemstones that you can get within them. This is glass, it's not a proper gemstone. You can tell by the fact that even if you slightly touch them, they'll shatter. So let's extract some useful components from these jewellery pieces. Razor blade is required for this sort of thing, this sort of work. Move some of them aside. Wait. So we'll be removing one of these little gemstones. Should be quite easy to remove. There we go. There's one. There's epoxy all stuck to it. That will need to come off. Carefully remove them as they shatter very easily. It's glass. There we go. There's a couple. Still got some gunk stuck to them, some epoxy. Another one. Lots of epoxy stuck to that. So remove that. There we go. Let's get this big one. That seems to be held in there. Oh no, it's not. It's glued. Deceptive. There we go. Got it. Nice sizable one. Only a few more left on here. As I said, this material is non-magnetic and is highly likely tin. Maybe with some small amount of zinc mixed in there in order to avoid allergic reactions with people's skin. Yeah. Yeah, I think I cracked that one very slightly. As I said, it's glass, it's very, very fragile. You can see they're not glued in very, very tough. Once you pry them, they come out quite easily. they use the minimum cheapest amount of epoxy that they can use in order to save money. But once they're cleaned up, they could be quite useful in making other things. They're quite nice, as you can see. Should clean up quite nicely on the rear side as well. As you can see, there's just a little bit of epoxy crap stuck on there. So I've completely taken all the small imitation gemstones out of this piece of metal. Still quite shiny, as you can see. I will remelt this and with all this other stuff at a later time in order to make a nice costume jewelry ingot, which will probably be worth more in the form of a bar than it will like this, since this stuff is extremely common. Whereas it takes quite a bit of skill to pour metal well. So we have more here, stuck to a small chain. There's also some more links there, which can be quite useful. Chain links. These have little teeth holding these ones in. Don't know if you can see that. There we go. See the little teeth on the edges here, and those will need to be lifted, so I will use a pair of clippers for this. These little cups hold the stones in place quite well. Just bend a couple back very carefully. And the stone should release. There we go. Very nice. That one doesn't have any glue on it because it was held within a little jewellery cup. There's the cup that I was on about. These can be quite useful if you disassemble them because they can be reused with other more fine gems as opposed to these pieces of glass. So it'll be useful for putting things like small rubies in, which I may do in the future, using these recycled components. You can see they're quite shiny though, so quite useful. These within a jar. As you can see, they're already looking quite nice. A little jar full of glass gemstones, which can be quite useful. So let's have a little look what I've done. Got some links there and bit of chain, which I will also take the rest of the links off. You can see how I took the gem out of the cup there, showed you. Some more components here. These are just snipped off of the tin clasp of the gold coloured chain. This is very soft material that you can just easily clip into it. See that? That's just squeezing it with the clippers. It's very soft. I believe it is tin, quite pure tin at that. And we also have jewellery cup, some glass gemstones, what would you call that? Clasp, more clasps, and some chain and good deal of metal, which I will be breaking off. that to that. And I will melt that down in another video and make a nice costume jewellery ingot. Should be interesting. I'll catch you then. Till next time.